This video will introduce to you Piktochart, an online way to make infographics. The reason why I selected Piktochart as one of my 5 videos was frankly because of Module 18, which is coming up here in a couple of weeks' time, in which we have to create an infographic. So I figured I might as well choose an infographic-based program for this one. That way I have something to be able to use to create an infographic with. Goals and objectives are to inform others about an online infographic software that teachers and students can utilize, and my intended audience for this video is for my peers as a way for you, and this is to show you or a way for you to show your students how to display information. So this is the Piktochart website. It's completely online. You do need to create an account. I have already created one, so I'm just going to go ahead and log in. And then once I've logged in, it will give me some options. I can either go back and continue editing ones that I've already started, or in this case here, I am going to want to create a new Piktochart. They give you a few different options here. We could either do one as a presentation, as a long form graphic infographic, or something that's printable on an A4 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper. For this case, I'm going to choose this. This is probably the best bet for you to have students choose if you plan to print this out and display it on the walls or something like that, or have them submit it. If you do this format, it can be much longer than a single page. If you happen to have access to a plotter like I do, where you can set your own your own paper size, then this is definitely an option. So I'm going to choose printable. And at this point, it has a few options. Am I making a poster, a report, a flyer? I'm going to keep it as poster for right now, and they have different templates that you can actually use. So if you like the look of something, you can preload that and then change the information to match, or else you can choose a blank template. In this case, let's go ahead and choose that template. So it is now loading that blank template that I chose, and then once it's loaded, I could go ahead and work on starting to edit it and change it to the way that I want it to be. So this one here, I chose a template of my own newspaper poster. You could use this for current events, to display information historical or something like that. Earlier today, I actually started this one here to go over the engineering design process. So I chose this one as one of the long form ones, and I have different parts of it here where I have the different steps, each one on its own essential page. You can add pages with this scrolling thing that comes along with you. I can add new blocks, I can remove blocks, I can copy blocks. I can take this block here and I can move it down, and then it's in the wrong position, so I'm going to move number 5 back down where that's supposed to be. So once you're actually in, then it's time to start editing it and making it your own. So for step number 4, the engineering design process, generate a solution. I've already edited this text, formation of ideas, create a mind map. Okay, so let's say I wanted to have a picture. Well, it has some different options over here in graphics. I can choose a shape, and I can scroll through this huge list of different shapes, or else if I already know what I'm looking for, I could go ahead and type in a shape here, plus sign. And it's going to give me its closest matches. In this case, plus sign didn't really come up too well. There's one. We'll go ahead and use that. So it's now inserted that into here. It also has animated icons where if you upgrade and use the Pro account, you can go ahead and use these things that actually move. You can put in lines. It has pre-stock photos in here with different categories that you can choose. Geography, sure, that sounds great. Let's go ahead and put in a picture of the Earth. There it is, fantastic. You can create frames for photos. So let's go ahead and put this one in here, and then I could actually drag a photo into this and it would show up with this kind of blotchy half deleted frame. Anytime if there's something you don't want, you can go ahead and just hit the backspace button to delete those items. You can also upload photos. So if you have photos in your own library, or else for these ones here that are already loaded into this presentation, I actually went to Google searched for images, found images that I need in order to create my project here, and just inserted those. You can also look at changing your background to various different features, which I do not want to do here. You can add new text blocks. Do you want it to be a title, subtitle, subtitle 2, subtitle 3, etc., etc.? It has different boxes to be able to place your text in. If I was unhappy with this color scheme, there are ways that I could work about changing that as well. The other option that it also has is this tools option here. And this would allow me to insert charts or maps or even take videos and input those directly in my infographic. So there are a lot of basic type things that you can do with Piktochart with just the free version without having to upgrade. I could see students using this in my class in order for my power energy transportation class. They have a unit where we discuss bridges, and each student is responsible for choosing a world-famous bridge and presenting information about it. I could see having them create a poster on regular-sized paper and just printing out one for every bridge and hanging them around the room and doing like a gallery walk or something like that. The one thing I don't like about the program is, unlike a lot of the other ones that I've done videos on, this one does not save automatically. And I could see students doing a lot of work on this, forgetting to hit the saved button up here to actually save their progress, logging out at the end of their class, coming back to the next class, and realizing everything that they did is gone. So if you do choose to use this, I know that I'm going to be really highly pushing a save it, save it, save it type thing. You can preview what you already have by clicking on the preview link. That way you can scroll through and see what it would actually look like without the editor stuff there. And then when you're done with it, you can actually share it, and it will generate a link so that you can actually view it. I want anyone to view with this sharing link. Here's my link here. So if I copied and pasted that somewhere, then that would then allow somebody else to come to my infographic and view my infographic. The other option that you have is to be able to download your infographic. It only gives you the option of downloading it as a PNG file, which is okay. You'll still be able to view it. You can't download it as a PDF unless you decide that you want to level up. The one thing I do not like about this program as well is if you choose to level up, it's a very expensive program to use for infographics. When the page first loaded, I was like $15, not too bad, until I saw monthly. So it's definitely a more expensive program than some of the other things that we have, like for Screencast-O-Matic, that was like $36 for a 3-year subscription. This is $15 a month. But this is a very simple program to use going through and starting this project today for Module 18. It's very intuitive with the pictorials about what I'm looking at trying to add, what to do things. I'm happy I found the save button, so that way I wasn't messing up any information. I could definitely see having my students complete projects on this. I could also see doing things like what I'm doing right now for this Module 18, in which I can create long posters that I can use my plotter to print out to hang around the room for a visual viewpoint of what are the steps of the engineering design process and what is included within each step. When looking at the standards for Piktochart, one of the standards that this would meet is ISTE E.6.D, which states model and nurture creativity and creative expression to communicate ideas, knowledge, or connections, as well as ISTE S.6.B, which says to create original works or responsibly repurpose or remix digital resources into new creations. I hope you enjoyed this video on Piktochart. Maybe some of you will be using it for the same module that I'm planning on using my example for.